Hello and welcome to the Tryline podcast. Huge show today. We got the Origin sides. We got talking about the Dragons having a party. I thought that was the Dogs theme song, but that's where we're at. Other than that, we've got a giveaway to announce as well. Now, on our show last week, I said that Denny cannot get 8 from 8. I stressed the fact that I thought he could never get 8 from 8. You proved me right by going 0 from 3 from the first 3 games. So we've come up with an idea here. Every week I get more than Denny. Denny will put $10 into a kitty, right? And once Denny finally beats me, which I don't really know if it will happen, if he beats me, we will give that money away or the whole kitty to one person. And the way you get into the competition, you just got to leave a comment on the video, leave a like, and that's every time you comment on a new video, that's another entry. And when Denny finally gets more than me, which I don't think will happen, we'll pay out. How about that, Denny?
Yeah, mate. I think we should make it. You got to be subscribed as well.
All right. If you're a subscriber, leave a comment on the video. That's one entry. Every time you do it on a new video, that's another entry. Denny, there is $10 in the kitty. We had a little side bet last night too, which Denny lost again. So for the first month, he'll be doubling it. He'll be putting $20 in. So by in a month's time, there could be $90 in the kitty. So that's free money. I don't think Denny's ever going to get more than me. If it doesn't happen by the end of the year, we will pay it out for max profit.
Not for me.
Yeah, for max loss for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, give me that New South Wales team, mate.
Alrighty, hold on. I'm just going to move my mic a little bit closer. So obviously there's a lot of the same names here. So at fullback, we've got James Tedesco. The wingers are Brian Toto and Josh Adokar. Centers, obviously Latrell and Tommy Bra. Jack Whiten is the 6 with Mitchell Moses. He won the race for the 7 jersey there. The front row, because Daniel Saifidi has been ruled out, Payne Haas comes into the starting side with Junior Paulo. Damien Cook at hooker, Cam Murray, Tarek Sims on the edges, and Azayo in at lock. The interchange is as follows. Appy in 14, Angus Crichton, Liam Martin, and Dale Finucane will make his start from the bench this series.
Finally get a shot on the bench there. And Nico Hines in the 18 jersey, which is a bit of a shock. He's getting rewarded for having a good season there. Really excited for Mitch Moses. I know a lot of people didn't really want him to be picked, especially after missing that goal. I thought he had a pretty good game apart from that. So I'm happy to see how he goes. The 4-pack's still so strong. Payne Haas, Junior Paulo, Cam Murray, Tarek Sims, and Isaiah. Yeah, that's just monstrous.
Yeah.
Payne Haas had a game on the weekend, man.
Oh, he did.
He was outstanding. Anyway, Queensland side. Here we go. Trying to avoid the clean sweep here. The Queenslanders. Callum Ponga. Hopefully he's in the side. You got through the Cowboys game all right, so hopefully he's going to play. We've got Val Holmes and Xavier Coates on the wing. Dane Gagai and Hemiso Tabuai Fado makes his debut there in the centres. Interesting choice, but hopefully he plays all right. The halves are Cam Munster and Daly Cherry Evans. Front row, Christian Welch and Josh Papali'i. Hooker, Ben Hunt comes into the starting team there. The back row, Kirk Catewell gets a shot at the back row with Felice Kafusi, Jairo at lock. And the bench, full of Titans players here, AJ Brimson, Tino Fasul Malawi, Mo Fodawaker, and Dave Firefeeder.
Well, I got a few issues with that squad there. Let me tell you, we had a long discussion last night actually, whether Kurt Capewell should be named in the centres or not, and I think, mate, he should have. I mean, you got the hammer coming in now, mark it up on Tommy. Yep. Tommy's gonna have a field day, mate. Like, I don't understand what you're thinking there,
mate. I didn't have Capewell in the centres. I thought we needed some speed out there. I personally picked Brimson, but Hemiso, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking some speed on the edge. Give us some options there. If he gets the ball in half as much space as Kirk Capewell did in game 2, he's going to be a problem. So I like that pick. Xavier Coates gets another shot on the wing there. It's been merry-go-round with him and Kyle Felt this series. But overall, I like the balance of this squad a little bit better. I don't know. I think it's a better team than they picked game 1. I thought their game 2 squad was all right, but then they got some injuries there. But I think this is a better team than they had in game 1.
I don't like Dave Fafita coming off the bench either.
No, I don't like that either. I would have started Kurt Capewell on the bench just because he gives you more options there. And Dave Fafita's got to start. He's a absolute top 3 back row on the comp, probably top 2, I
Yeah,
reckon.
yeah, 100%.
Anyway, let's talk about this Dragons fiasco, eh? Paul
Oh,
Vaughan, Josh Maguire, Jack Bird, Blake Laurie, Corey Norman, Cade Ellis, Matt Duffy, Jared Bill, Josh Kerr, Daniel Alvaro, Zach Lomax, and just breaking today, Jack DeBellin.
Jack, I can't.
House party at Paul Vaughan's. Obviously riding high after that win over the Warriors.
Yeah, that big win against the Warriors. What are the Warriors
Mate,
coming? What are they?
I don't know.
Big win against 12th. Calls for
I
a
don't
party,
know.
does it?
I seen some people trying to defend it, like saying that, oh, but they're all in the bubble together, so what does it matter?
Mm.
The whole state's in lockdown, bro. Like, have some foresight. I just don't understand like what the optics like. Think about what it looks like to the rest of the state, especially people that are sitting in their house aren't able to go out. Some people aren't even able to go to work, and these
Mm.
blokes having a party.
Yeah, well,
You know what I mean?
some people have been in because of COVID. They don't have a job anymore.
Exactly.
So
I hated it. I don't get that excuse. I think there's enough quality players that have been in that makeup. Like Paul Vaughan's been around the game for a long time. Josh Maguire, Zach Lomax is a good up and coming kid. They should know. They should know what's going on.
mm.
And the Jack DeBellin thing's a whole another part of that. They tried to cover up that he was even there. Come out today that he was. So I hated it. What are you thinking penalty wise?
Penalty wise, I think it should be 2 round suspension for all the players.
That's funny. We didn't even talk about that. And I had 2 rounds as well. I reckon 2 games. It has been floated. People think maybe strip them of some points. I don't like that. I think that hurts the fans more than it hurts them.
Yeah, for sure. I'd think just suspending all the players that were involved.
Yeah, I reckon give them two match suspension, and they can scramble after that. And the club's got to come down really hard on them. If I said yesterday, I think the club should get ahead of it because the NRL is probably going to sanction them. I reckon the club should get ahead of it and sanction them themselves, like get on the front foot and look strong in the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
this is the leaders of their club. I'd be coming out and just whacking them and fine the shit out of them. I reckon.
Yeah.
Because realistically, this could stop the game. Like we having exemptions to play right now from state governments. That's why we're allowed to keep going. Well, if say Gladys Berejiklian sees this and he's like, well, they're just taking the piss. Let's get rid of their exemption. Well, then they can't play,
Yeah.
can they? And then we're all screwed. So 2 week suspension, I reckon minimum.
Yeah, minimum. Yeah, as well. What I was going to say was it was cool to see that the Origin players like Ben Hunt, what's the other bloke's name?
Andrew McCulloch, but he didn't get picked. But he wasn't in it either.
I swear there was a New South Wales player. Was there a New South Wales player there? Tarek Sims.
Oh, Tarek Sims, yeah.
Tarek Sims, that's right. Those two decided to stay out of it, and good for them. I'm sure.
Yeah,
that,
good on them.
I'm sure that there would have been a few of the players that went there trying to encourage more players.
I just don't understand where their heads are at. Seriously.
Yeah, no, man,
Stupid.
Anyway, I think that's enough about all the bad news going on. We'll get into the games, eh?
Let's get into the games. Well, there's bad news there for me too on Saturday night. Last game on Saturday night. Jesus.
Mate, and we'll get to that. We'll start off with the Storm destroying the Roosters 46-0. Absolute masterclass. I don't think there's ever been a better attacking team in the NRL.
Well, no, they're about to break the record. I think they average 30 odd points every game for the rest of the year, and it looks like they will just walk that in. That's the 10th time this season they've racked up 40 plus points.
That's crazy. I think there was something like 8 of the last 10 or something they've put 40 on.
Well, I've got it here. They've scored less than 30 points once since round 6.
And they're doing this all without Ryan Papenhuyzen and Harry Grant. And
yeah, which is just crazy.
Yeah, when Ryan Papenhuyzen was around, we were thinking, well, is he the best fullback in the game?
Yeah,
he was playing that well. And now they've got Nico Hines. He's doing a job for him, and he's been picked as 18th man, or 19th man for the Blues. And Brandon Smith has been killing it in the absence of Harry Grant.
I think Brandon Smith is the former hooker in the competition.
Mate, he's playing awesome. He's scoring tries. I think 6 in his last 5 games, something like that.
Is that not crazy for the Storm that their backup hooker is the best hooker in the comp right now?
Form wise, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely on form. He's the best hooker in the comp. I think Jerome Hughes is killing it at halfback. He's
Mm.
so under the radar. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the competition. He had a game again the other night. Munster was really solid, but just their whole team, their four pack does it just easy all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
It seemed like the Roosters lost their fight a little bit the other night. Like they've been renowned for like just staying in the fight all the time. They always stay in the fight. Last 5 years, but just wasn't there on Thursday night. I thought.
Yeah, for sure. I thought they definitely started well, and because I tipped them, and I'm thinking, hold on, we're looking good here. The Roosters are looking good, but then yeah, they just fell off there. But anyway, good win for the Storm.
Hmm.
Anyway, the Dragons defeat the Warriors for the next game, 19 points to 18. Disappointing for the Warriors to blow a 12-point lead towards the end of
I
the game. I
know.
think last 10 or so minutes. I thought a factor that played a big factor in them falling off towards the end is Tohu Harris going down.
Yeah,
Because he plays 80 and he makes 40 plus tackles every single game. So some of the other forwards there kind of picking up that slack. Might have just been a little bit tired towards the end. They could have
yeah.
played.
This is just a pretty much where the Warriors are at, giving up 12 points in the last 10 minutes. Like, there's been heaps of games they should have iced that they just haven't, and that's going to be a difference between them making the 8 and not. The Dragons must have thought it was a great win because they went partying after, but they do sit 7th, and they got to win up their sleeve, and they got easily the best for and against of anyone that's below them. So they're pretty comfortably in the 8 right now. So good for them.
Yeah, good for them. We'll see how they go. We'll see what the punishment is for those players that broke those
I'm keeping my eye on
restrictions.
it because news always breaks while we're working or like just after we post it. So I'm just keeping my eye on it over to the right, and if anything comes up, I'll
Break
get
it.
it out there.
You'll just interrupt me and
Interrupt you just straight away.
you're all
I'll
about.
just like I interrupt like that. That's
Yeah.
what I'll be like.
Okay.
Interruption. Okay.
Please don't.
Go.
Rightio, yeah. We got the Panthers defeating the Eels, 13 points to 12. Me personally, being a Paris supporter, I was pretty bummed. Couldn't get the win without Nathan Cleary playing.
Yeah.
Appy had a good game though. I thought James Fish Harris, I thought he was making a point to take it to RCG. Regan Campbell Gillard, you kind of saw him going after him there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always good when these two teams play. Not always good, but sometimes good.
I think the Eels will probably think this was the one that got away, don't you think? I think how many times do you want to say think? I reckon the Eels probably should have won this game. Although they were easily the better half in the better team in the first half. Well, the Panthers come home pretty strong.
Mm.
But I reckon it's the one that got away. That missed kick at the end, I felt really bad for Moses because a lot of people harped a lot of crap on him for missing that goal, but he's had 79 other minutes to beat him.
Yeah, definitely. Pardon me. Yeah, he should have kicked it, but you can't kick him all.
I can.
Manly defeat the Bulldogs 66-0. Look, I'm gonna say this. Tommy Bray's officially the best player ever in history.
Okay.
In the history of rugby league, he's the next. He's the next immortal.
That's an overstatement.
Yeah, he had a great game. Saab, Garrick, they both had good games. Daly Cherry Evans, if he would have scored, that would have been good.
I think Saab and Garrick between them have as many tries as the Bulldogs have this year.
How many is that?
30. I think
30?
they have 30 and the Bulldogs have 30. So that's kind of a message for the Bulldogs here. I hope the pub was worth it for the Bulldogs because Katoa, Waddell, Napa, Wakeham, Shoop, they really let their players, their mates down, their club down here. I thought it made a tough ask even tougher. And then with Adam Elliott and Nick Kotrick out as well, what other result was there going to be?
Yeah, I thought that the players that did come in, that centre on the right edge, I think it was, I thought he had a dig every time he ran the ball. It looked like there was some purpose behind that run.
Yep.
He looked good.
I mean, you're not going to win with this many of your stars out, I don't think. And it was 30-0 after 30 minutes. I couldn't even watch the rest of the game. I just found it boring.
Yeah,
it's just not football I like to watch. But hopefully they get their players back on the field and have a crack because it felt like they were building a little bit. You know what I mean? Like effort-wise, and it fell off here.
Yeah, for sure. I've got a question for you actually. Who do you reckon's quicker out of the Saab or Josh O'Carr?
Saab.
Yeah, me too. I think
I reckon
he's got a,
Saab's the quickest in the competition.
yeah,
I read one somewhere over 60 meters. I think he keeps up with the Australian best sprinters.
oh, really?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Anyway, another game that was a bit of a blowout. We got the Titans beating the Raiders 44 points to 6. I don't think many people saw this coming. I definitely didn't. I thought it would have been
No.
a bit of a closer game.
Yeah.
I think the Titans will take a lot of confidence out of the fact that they kept the Raiders to 6 points. I'm not too sure if that would be due to their defense or just the Raiders' poor attack. But man, I don't know what's doing with them. Two
Well,
years ago, yeah,
good on the Titans though, because they haven't been able to stop points pretty much all year. So that's a win for them, really.
yeah,
They've
definitely.
not been able to stop many points. The Raiders though, 65 missed tackles. That's just disgraceful. That's
65.
disgraceful.
Ooh.
65 missed tackles. 32 of those were from just their backs, so they're 1-7. Terrible defensive effort, and defense is just attitude. So I don't know what's going on at that club at the moment. I tipped them to be a top 6 team and really make a play at the grand final this year.
Mm.
And to dish that up at home, that's just terrible. What'd you make of the sin bin on David Fifita?
Oh, the
He might
sin
miss
bin.
Origin because of that.
If he misses Origin because of that, that's ridiculous. That wasn't even a penalty.
I thought it was barely a penalty.
Yeah.
I thought it was barely a penalty. I mean, I could cop a penalty at worst, but geez, just terrible, terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what was doing there. Like I thought they kind of eased off those that crackdown there, but
They still have, I think. I think you see way less.
yeah. Anyway, on to your boys, the Cowboys, flogged 38-0 by the Knights. How good's Ponga though?
Yeah, Ponga was great.
Yeah.
Move on.
Oh,
I'm over it. I'm so over it. They've just been terrible.
yeah, they have. I
They've
think
been
that's
terrible. They're sitting 10th.
three losses in a row. So,
Yeah, 3 losses in a row. We got South next week too.
look out.
But that'll be without a couple of players there, so maybe that'll help. But they've just been terrible. I'm always going to stick with the Cowboys, and I'll stand by them. But geez, the defense has just been woeful for years. It's not just this year. It's been a few years.
Couple years,
But,
eh?
yeah, then they need to fix it. Ponga was outstanding. I think Clifford and Mitchell Pearce complement each other really well. Their kicking game looked really good on the weekend, so that's only going to develop. I'm happy for the Knights finding a little bit of form into ninth there.
Yeah, same. I was going to say, I think from what I saw, I think Clifford and Ponga's combination needs a little bit of work. There was a few times when the Knights were going out wide, and then Clifford would throw a cutout pass and skip out Ponga.
Yeah,
I like Ponga's
it's not the play.
Ponga's your best player.
Yeah,
Like you can't be. And I remember there was this one time he did throw that cutout pass, and the centre knocked it on, and I think Ponga had a dig at Clifford.
you think they would be the ones that would know to play the best, like the most together, because they would have played together growing up, like both being Townsville boys. So
Yeah.
Maybe it'll develop a little bit, but it's only good things having Clifford in that club. I think in that natural 6 to complement Mitchell Pearce, I think is the best moving forward for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, the Cowboys, I don't know, they're broken.
They got to figure out something soon. Give Jason Taumalolo his minutes back.
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, go on. Anyway, Broncos defeat the Sharks 26-18. I honestly thought this one was going to be a bit of a landslide in favour of the Sharks, just because of the Broncos' forward pack. Like who they have? They had
on the bench. Their bench was woeful.
Well, their bench
but they played.
And they're starting.
They played well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they did. Credit to them.
Who was their bench? Ethan Bullymore. Jordan Ricky must have been a late in. Jesse Arthurs and Keegan Plaseka.
Palaszczuk, I think it's called.
Palaszczuk. I think that Bullymore played really well, and I thought they all had a crack. I watched most of the games on the weekend. This was the funnest to watch for me. The Broncos Sharks. I really enjoyed this sunny afternoon there at Suncorp. But more than that, it felt like either team could win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when we got into the game and it was ebbing and flowing, and it felt like the Sharks were on top and then the Broncos were on top, and the Broncos had a lot of energy about everything that they did. So I really enjoyed this. Payne Haas is a forward leader. He's an absolute lunatic.
Man, he had a game. What he like 40 tackles, 200 meters.
They just got behind him. They got on the back of everything he done. Tessie New was pretty solid back there.
Mm.
But Katoni Stagg's huge in. Because anytime he got the ball, he looks so dangerous out there.
Yeah.
Looks so dangerous. And it frees up everyone around him. It's going to free up the winger. It's going to free out the guy on the inside. Good to see Corey Oates back in the team too. This was good for the Broncos. If they can keep bringing this energy, then they'll be competitive.
Yeah, for sure. So with Katoni Stagg, do you think that he would fit at 6?
I've never seen him play 6, but he just strikes me as a ball runner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, I guess that was Whiten's game for a long time, and he developed into a 6. So it's not that it can't happen, but he is just a ball runner. He's a natural ball runner. You just get in the ball. I'd even probably prefer to see him at fullback and get him a little bit more open space, broken field.
Mm.
I mean, but it just depends if he's got the motor for that and he's catching pass. But I guess we're going to see it. I think it was in his contract. He wants to play 6. So I think it was because they re-signed him. I think we'll see him get a crack next year at least.
Yeah, right. Nice. Rightio. So the last game of the rounds, Rabbitohs defeat the Tigers 38 to 22. Listen, there's some pretty spotty defense up in this game.
Oh, Jesus.
Campbell Graham scored a real soft try off, just an A ball. So it's just cutting back on the inside. And then the Rabbitohs second half, I thought the defense was not very good. I
thought they just switched off. They weren't interested in the game anymore.
Yeah.
The Tigers, on the other hand, their first half effort was so embarrassing, man. And they were their own worst enemy. Like, I think they were down 12-0, and they had one good defensive set and kept them to around the 45, 50 meter line.
Mm.
And then Luke Brooks went for a charge down. And they got the ball back, and then they kicked on. And I think they ended up scoring from that set. And then another set later, they had another good defensive set, and then Luke Garner gave away a penalty on last tackle, holding down. When all they were going to do was kick the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they were their own worst enemy. I don't know what Madge does over there. I think he's got to recruit, but it doesn't look like a very good place to go right now. I felt bad for the Tigers fans watching, but I think it's the worst performance of the weekend. The Tigers, I thought they were really poor, and the Raiders were really poor as well. So the Raiders and Tigers, people say the Bulldogs losing 66-0. That's the worst performance. But Bulldogs had that many players out.
Yeah.
To be honest, Pepper should have played for the Tigers. She's got more go in her today than any of the Tigers players.
Yeah, she does. She's I don't know what she's barking at. She's barking at an ear.
I think Nathan, what's his name? David Norfolum has been pretty poor this year too.
I mean, all the Tigers outside backs have been pretty poor. Tommy Talau, he's been very poor. A lot of unforced errors that are coming out, like when the Tigers are trying to come out of their own end, I think.
Just force some passes, but that's them chasing the game. That's like scoreboard pressure. They got to. It's like an attitude thing. I think they're just not interested. What was the score? It was like 18-0 in the first 15 minutes. That's game over. 16-0. Game over.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh well.
What'd you make of the weekend? A lot of blowouts. It's the way it's trending now. I think that Sharks Broncos game is pretty much one of the only games I enjoyed, and the
Sharks
Eels Panthers game. I thought that was a good game as well.
That was a crap game.
It's a crap game.
That's crap.
It's a great game.
Storm Roosters crap. Dragons Warriors crap.
Manly Bulldogs was an absolute snooze fest.
Yeah, Titans Raiders similar. Knights Cowboys, that was a good
Could have been the worst game of the year.
That was a good game to watch. I really enjoyed that one.
Good to see Ponga back doing his thing though.
Yeah, man, he's killing it. Good on him. Hopefully he can stay healthy.
And that's about it. Poor Cowboys. I think we're wrapping up. Anything else you want to say, Pepper?
You got something to say, Pepper? No.
All right. We'll be back here Wednesday for our Q&A. Don't forget to get your questions in on Instagram on Tuesday. See, she did have something to say. I knew she did.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Cut it out.
All right. We'll see you Wednesday.